on Rana's transportation the minute Tahammur Rana was extradited and how that was done. The chartered flight avoided its usual route, we understand, over Pakistan. While Rana was on board yesterday, commercial and business chartered flights on this route generally fly over Pakistan. During its return earlier today, the aircraft took its usual route, passing over Pakistan's airspace and landed at a UAE airport. The aircraft belonged to a Vienna-based private charter jet management company. I'm going to go straight across to Ankur, gathering all of those details. Ankit, I beg your pardon, gathering all of those details for us. Ankit Kumar, getting in more. Ankit, of course, special efforts made to ensure that the flight route was, in fact, not through Pakistan. The flyover Pakistan is something that was avoided. What more can you tell us about the kind of route it took? What happened during the journey?
Well, Sneha, for a normal passenger, if you are on board a private business jet or even on a commercial aircraft, the route from Europe to New Delhi passes over the Pakistani airspace, but not if you are one of the key accused in 26/11 terror attack. So when Tahammur Hossain Rana was on board this private business jet that was hired from a Vienna-based chartered company, the aircraft avoided its usual route that passes over Pakistan. But earlier today, based on publicly available open source flight tracking data, we can confirm that the aircraft took its usual route. It flew over Pakistan, it flew south of Bahawalpur, then over Balochistan, and later it landed at an airport in Dubai. So these interesting details, remember yesterday, India Today was the first network to put out all the details how Tahammur Rana was transported from an airport in the US. Remember, he was handed over at Los Angeles. From there, he was traveled by the US Marshals to Miami. From Miami, a private business jet, which was hired from Vienna, he was on board with the officials. That business jet landed next day at an airport in Romania. From Romania, he was transported back to New Delhi, but very carefully avoiding the Pakistan airspace.
That's right. Avoiding the Pakistan route, essentially the flight rather carrying Tahammur Rana was avoiding that route is what Ankit is telling us. What more details can you share with us about how it landed? In fact, the aircraft took the usual route and landed at a UAE airport later. It belongs to a Vienna-based private charter jet management company as well.
Well, Sneha, a lot of interesting details. For example, initial reports suggested that Rana could be transported using a military aircraft from US Air Force. That was not true. Next, there were reports that Rana could be transported in an Indian Air Force aircraft. That was also not true. Based on open source publicly available data and flight tracking data, we established that Rana was transported very secretively in a business jet, a 19-seat business jet from out of Vienna. You know the private jet had to be transported from Vienna, where its base is, to Miami in US. Now from Miami to its pit stop at Bucharest in Romania, the usual route, the shortest possible route, passes over Pakistan, and that could have been a risk, that could have involved a risk factor. So keeping all those risk factors in mind, maybe the authorities, the intelligence agency decided that the best route possible was to take a longer route, avoid the Pakistani airspace, and while Rana was not on board in the return flight, you can see in those graphics the flight clearly flying over Pakistan as opposed to the flight from Bucharest to New Delhi.
That's right. You're telling us about the stopover also at Romania. Landing in Bucharest, Romania at 7 p.m. local time is what you said the same day. Also telling us about how this operation was executed. Ankit, using a Gulfstream G550. Talk to us a little more about this particular business jet.
It's a very high-profile business jet, normally hired by very high-profile people, politicians, businessmen, 19 people can go on board. It has all the modern day facilities. You can use internet. There is also satellite phones. There are also satellite phones available. So all the modern facilities are available. Very costly, very costly. But when it comes to these kind of very delicate operations, these kind of jets are very much high in demand.
Also, Ankit, talk to us about, the back channel talks that have been going on for such a long time, vis-a-vis how this was a huge diplomatic breakthrough also for India, isn't it?
One of the most high-profile terror accused, terror suspect to get from US. Remember, Canadian citizen of Pakistani origin who has lived in US, had businesses in the US. In this particular case, the FBI could not build a strong enough case, but then the US courts to rule in favor of India, in favor of all the Indian prosecuting agencies, relying on the evidence collected by them. That is again a testimony to Indian agencies for able to collect all those details, all those evidences, and then convince the US court to grant an extradition. Getting an extradition from US courts has not been easy in the past. There are so many extradition requests that remain pending. So, diplomatically, also for the law enforcement agencies and the prosecutors who are involved, for them too, it's a big milestone.
All right, a big milestone undoubtedly, and a big breakthrough, a diplomatic victory in every sense of the word. Ankit, I'm going to thank you for getting in those details. Ankit, detailing on the journey that took place, an 11-hour stopover at Romania, and the manner in which Tahir Rana was brought back to India. The route that was followed was avoiding Pakistan for reasons which are really no secret.